Hi everyone, I'm Brad with Unwired View, here with my special guest today, the Samsung Galaxy Tab. Now this little phone, wait a second, it's not a phone, it's a tab, which, amazingly enough, is short for tablet. So, you'll definitely want to use that one at parties. Tell your friends, they're going to be very impressed with you. They'll be like, man, this guy knows his stuff. So the Galaxy Tab is, as you can tell, rather substantial in size. It's 7 inches of touchscreen goodness, running Android 2.2, so it's got the flash on there. That's the good stuff. So, what is the Galaxy Tab all about then? That's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about today. What can you do with 7 inches? Well, there's a lot you can do with 7 inches. So, let's find out some of those things right now.
With the Galaxy Tab, I get asked a lot exactly how such a large device can be so handy to have around. And one thing about this is, since it's a 7-inch screen, yes, it is a lot larger, but it is still something that I could handle with just one hand. And that's a huge thing. If I can palm this, then that goes a long way to being a truly portable device. Whereas if I were to take this around with a larger screen, it wouldn't fit anywhere. It's just such a large device that ends up becoming more like a laptop in that sense. So that's one great thing about this, is it's so light and portable. With it being this size, it's definitely not a phone. I can't put this up to my ear or anything. I'd look kind of silly just walking down the street with this thing attached to my ear. But it is a wonderful data device where I can do text messaging, emailing, internet, all sorts of things. Pretty much anything that you could do with a smartphone, only larger screen and without the phone part. So this thing, as you can tell, has a whole bunch of different apps available for it, just like any other Android that you would normally see. So it's really not that different. You're just looking at a whole lot of extra real estate here to work with. And that's awesome. Now, doing a quick glance of this thing, there isn't a whole lot of stuff on the outside, so it's going to be pretty quick and easy to go through it. Where we have the micro SD card slot, we have the volume, and the screen lock. Up here, the only thing that we have is the 3.5mm jack. And then over here, it's a super smooth side, really nothing at all except for that little hole for the mic. And then down here, we've got the proprietary Samsung charging port. Now this one looks awfully familiar. Looks an awful lot like one of the Galaxy Tab's competitors. I'm just not sure which one. Kind of crazy. We also have the 3 megapixel camera on the back with the flash available, and also there's the front camera that has the 1.3 megapixel on, so you can still do video chatting or just video messages for people. So that's kind of nice. Now the back is really the biggest differentiating factor between all the different carriers. So for example, this is available on Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, even US Cellular. So it's on all the major carriers plus some regional ones, and it's going to be available over worldwide as well. And the big difference is going to be in the back itself, which is such a crazy thing. I mean, you think there's going to be other differences. And granted, you have some of the differences showing up in the bloatware. You know, all the stuff, the junk that just comes on the phone at first, and you're like, I don't need this. Why do I have it? So that's one thing to be considering. So for example, the Sprint Zone. Obviously you're not going to find that on T-Mobile or Verizon. So that's just one thing that's unique to Sprint, and it's one extra benefit that they like to add to the whole equation. One thing that I really like about the Galaxy Tab is that it takes a lot of the similarities in any Android handset and improves upon them using full advantage of the 7-inch screen. The first app to show off is email. As with any Android device, you can have multiple email accounts, but I really like the way that this particular email account is set up versus most other Android phones out there. When I go in, especially when it's in landscape, but I'll show you portrait as well. Going in here, you can see that we have the 2 different panes. I can go in and choose which email address or email inbox I want to look at, or I can just go into all inboxes. So right now I'm just going to stick with this one right here. Just going to look at, let's say we just go check out this one here. Okay, pulling this up, Got a nice little picture that I can see, but hey, I can't see this. Even on a 7-inch screen, that's kind of tiny print, but I can definitely read that. Or, if push comes to shove, I can press that little guy and it expands to fill the whole screen. So now I can zoom in even further if I need to and see more of it. Checking out the Maps app on the Galaxy Tab. This is a huge map. So I just put in the Home Depot as my search, and I'm just going to choose one of these. Okay, let's choose that one. Alright, okay, details. Oh, so they carry Maytag and American Standard. Oh, great. Oh, very helpful. Great reviews. Oh, I love Home Depot, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go in and find directions because, man, these guys are raving about this Home Depot place. Going in. Okay. And now check out the navigation as I go from one step to another. I love the navigation animations on these, going from one place to the next. Well, they're nice to have on there. Okay, going back in. So, let's get out of here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to check on one other place. Let's go and find out Wendy's. Need to look for Wendy's nearby. Okay, oh, they're all together here. Let's pick that one. Now this one, in addition to the details and the reviews and all that, it also has a cool little place here for the street view. Now I can see actually where the Wendy's is. Oh, hello. I can also see... Oh, let's check out who's in that... Oh, just gonna see if I can go and see who's in that car. Oh well. The messaging app. Going in here, pretty straightforward. It's double pane. So I can see I've got a conversation with myself going on. And now I can actually look to see what that conversation is all about. Not a whole lot to it. Put that guy in portrait mode there. Now I see that whole conversation, just not that extra pane. So really turning that landscape adds a nice new dimension to the Galaxy Tab. I really like having the ability to do this in a large enough screen to be able to view it this way. I just find it very user friendly. Also, Media Hub. It'll just take a few seconds to load here. Basically up on here we're going to have some of the featured selections. Of course we have a few other categories. Pretty simple really going into TV Store. This is of course where I can go in and rent TV episodes. Usually they're a couple bucks for each episode you rent. With the movies they typically are around about $4 to rent a movie, and then upwards of $15 to $20 to actually buy it. So now I can look through here, pick out what I want. I can own that episode. Yep, whoop-de-doo. Going through here I can just pick out Comedy Central. Alright. Let's see what they've got. Okay. Some of the Galaxy Tabs that you purchase will have a $50 credit available. For example, AT&T. Even though it's the most expensive of the major carriers to have the Galaxy Tab on there for $650, at least it does offer a $50 credit for the Media Hub. So you can play around with it sufficiently and get a good feel for it, see what you think. Also of note is the Kindle. Since we have such a large screen, this does get mistaken a lot for an ebook reader. And for good reason, because it is a very good, sufficient ebook reader. So you've got the Kindle on there. Right now I just picked out a couple Fairy tales, alright. So I can go in. We'll just pick this one. Yes, let's just go back to where I was reading last. Very handy to have. Okay, so I'm actually going to scroll this way to get every page. No, it doesn't do the pinch to zoom, sadly. Okay. But there is a way for you to go into settings and change the font size. So, okay, and apparently I just picked a different location to go to. I can go to wherever. And the music app is also another clever app that you can have in the Galaxy Tab with 2 panes. So looking at this, you have your tabs up here for your different categories and different ways of sorting out what you want to listen to. I just picked out a couple, not a whole lot of different selections here, but I'm just picking a few. This is really all you have to do. I can find out, it's rap and hip hop. Hit that button, takes us back here. Okay, we've got the nice, interestingly enough, it's got the 2-pane system on this one too. On portrait, I should say. And then, nice, easy way of getting out of that. And finally, let me show you the calendar app. The calendar app itself also has been adapted for the tab. Certainly you're not going to see this standard on an Android device. So looking at this, I can look at it from the week view, month, list, day, the usuals. So that's nothing unique about it. It's just the way that it's set up here, where it's taking full advantage of the screen, where I've got the appointments for today, and I can go through and just change whichever days I want. I can go down here and then move to a different month. And so I have all of that. Apparently August I had completely free up. That's kind of weird. Now, not every app is going to look this awesome. It's not going to have the cool double pane effect, or have it stretched out to take advantage of every single inch that this thing has to offer. There are still some apps where the developers just haven't been able to take the opportunity yet to get it working on the tab, or they just have decided not to. So this particular app I've just pulled up as an example, where you can see where I've got this full screen, but it's only taking up maybe 4 or 5 inches worth. So, like, you compare it to, the screen size to, let's say, a Captivate, and just by looking at this, it looks to be pretty much, well, it's a little bit larger than a 4-inch screen, so I'd say it's about the same as the Evo 4G with the 4.3 inch. So that's very important to note, is when you're using these apps here, not every one of them is going to look as cool as the Mail app.
I was really grateful to have this chance to play around with it. Now, when you saw the video review, it's not a full comprehensive review, certainly. There's a lot of things that were left out of it just because I wanted to highlight some of the special, unique features of the tab. What I'm hoping is that you'll go to our website at unwiredview.com. You're going to check out my full review there, because I go into a lot more detail. I get much more wordy than I am right here. And that's saying a lot, because I know I'm very talky and very wordy. So if you go to the review, there's going to be a lot more details, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You'll want to pull up a comfy chair, get on some reading glasses, and check it out. My name is Brad at unwiredview.com. Thanks so much for watching today.